All right. Welcome back, my regular viewers, listeners, and watchers. And of course, if you happen to be here for the very first time, welcome. Before I go any further, my name is Rahul George, India's premier self hypnosis coach and your personal guide. So, as you may have already noticed, especially if you've been a regular viewer, listener, or watcher of the pod, I am back again. The last 3 days have been absolutely mind blowing, to say the least. I just finished the first leg of my certification in hypnotherapy. I did this last year, about 18 months ago, and it just felt the right thing to do to go back and repeat it. So, two things, of course, that kind of brought up today's topic for the pod. And, we really, if you think about it, especially as a digital coach, what is so vital is the power of community. Now, the reason why this thought came to me was, you know, in the past, and I'm talking over easily a span of, memory serves me right, 2000, yeah, literally like 20 years. Many times I have created products, I have created programs and workshops, and invariably, one of the barriers that I've, like crashed against or crash landed into has quite often been, how do you get more people to show up? And this is something that in the recent past I've been doing a lot of, not just a lot of work on, but been really working on. And one of the things I can tell you now, having done it for some time, is, if you make it a point to build community, then when you are ready to launch products, when you are ready to launch programs, you will always find yourself with the right people who show up, who are interested, and are literally putting you into that space of being oversubscribed. So, of late, I have been making a lot of adjustments in my own, whether you call it marketing program or my own approach to being able to create value in their lives. And this is, of course, one aspect that for the longest time I didn't really put too much stock in. I didn't really value too much. And somehow it felt like, I could just almost like saying go against the grain and, build a new audience every single time. And a lot of us as digital coaches, in the early phases of our journey, we tend to do that. We tend to think about, creating a new audience every single time. We think of creating something that, the hope is that the product itself is going to miraculously just draw the right people in. But the truth couldn't be further from that. One thing I have come to recognize, and, even using my experience of attending this 6-day certification, 3 days are done now, 3 days in about 2 weeks' time. One thing that I noticed that of the 100 odd people who had showed up, fully paid up, and this is literally from people from across the world, people in the US, people in Europe, people in Australia, uh, which other countries were there? Of course, there was India, and meaning me, I was representing India, and a couple of other, I guess I should say, Asian countries. Um, the one thing that was very evident was that a lot of people, in fact, most people who had and were attending the program have already had some experience of attending past or previous programs. So, in essence, what I'm getting at is that, if you are, especially as a digital coach, if you're looking to, create programs, create workshops in the long run, it's so vital to be able to build a community. And for the longest time, when I've been in the process of learning One was, of course, neuro linguistic programming, and then in the recent past, learning hypnosis. In the initial phases, I somehow I still can't understand why, but somehow I didn't put too much stock in building a community. That, of course, has changed in the last, I should say, about a year now, um, and I can see the difference. So, if you're somebody that's wanting to build, you really want to be able to build on your business, you want to be able to build a community, or maybe you're wondering, why should I build a community? If you're planning to really run a business, create a business and run a business, well, then you really need to take a moment and reflect on, why are you creating it and for whom are you creating it? And once that starts to become clear, you'll notice that somehow wanting to show up for your community becomes second nature. So, if you're right now at that phase where maybe you've already put in a lot of the hard work, you've, what is it? They call it the hard yards, right? So you've done that, you've built your skill, and today you're at a point where you can be able to work with people and help them change their lives, help them improve their lives, and in a way you believe that you can help them. One very important element, one very important aspect is to start to notice the importance of having a community. So, if you, and let me put it this way, if you actually think about it right now, and the idea of creating a community is something that is daunting, it's something that maybe scares you, and you wonder, okay, how am I going to do this? I can tell you there is one very important element that you've not considered. So a lot of this has to do with your own personal and your own self beliefs. So if you're somebody who, especially as a coach, a digital coach, where maybe you look at one of these 5 areas, health, wealth, relationships, spirituality, and purpose. So maybe you work in one or several of these areas, and you're wondering, okay, it's like I've done a lot. I've focused on investing in tools, technology, and also mentors. But somehow, when you want to run a program, when you want to when you look at your bank balance, you're wondering, okay, like, what am I missing, right? Literally, mera number ka bhaiga. The one piece that's definitely missing is this, which is your own working on your self beliefs. So, if this is something that you're wondering, okay, well and good, maybe that's what it is, but how do I do that? That's one of the reasons why I've created this program called Mera Number Ka Bhaiga, which specifically focuses on you and your self beliefs in these 5 areas. And when you start to work on this, and something I've been very blessed to have is the gift of hypnosis. And not only have I learned it, but I've used it in my own life, and of course now I'm using it in the lives of my clients and my students. So if this is something that interests you, that intrigues you, and you're wondering, okay, I've tried a lot, not I've not really thought about hypnosis or self hypnosis. Well, maybe now is that time to start and give it a go and see how this helps you. Because if it does, I can promise you it can truly make that massive shift in your life. And if not, it will definitely give you the stepping stone or be the stepping stone to what comes next. So, with that, I'm going to pause for a moment. Of course, I will be back with more of these live pods that I record every day. And of course, you can catch this on my YouTube podcast channel. Definitely do subscribe and like, because that's how the algorithm knows that this is of value to you. So, as I said, I've created a workshop called Mera Number Ka Bhaiga, and come by, drop in, and experience how self hypnosis can take you literally from Mera Number Ka Bhaiga to life Chingala. So look forward to seeing you in my workshop, which is happening on Sunday at 11 a.m. And if you have any questions, definitely do let me know. And if there's any way in which I can help you, definitely reach out to me, and I'll do my best to be able to help you. Of course, before I go, just remember, as always, to live with purpose. So see you in the next one. Take care. God bless. Bye bye.